Hi, and welcome to the first episode of the Data Science and R pre-class video. I'm super excited about our sessions, and I'm hoping that you will join me on this journey and explore topics in data science, analytics, and business statistics.
Let's start by asking ourselves a very basic question. What is the most ultimate data science environment? Is it Microsoft Excel? Is it C++? Or is it PowerPoint? I have asked my roommates what they think is the most ultimate data science environment, and let's see how they answered this question.
Carolina said Excel, and Javier gave it a second thought and said Excel too.
Okay.
And guess what? They were all wrong. The actual answer is R. R is the ultimate data science environment. What is more, R is the most common data science tool, language, used by statisticians and data scientists today. It is highly utilized here in the States, not only in Silicon Valley, but also on the East Coast. It is even more utilized in Europe and South America. Let's talk a little bit about history of R. R was created by two statisticians at the University of Auckland in New Zealand. And the first production version of R was released in the year 2000. After that, newer versions were published to the CRAN, including bug fixes, new libraries, new functions, and enhanced capabilities. Nowadays, R is in the top 10 of the TIOBE index. The TIOBE index has all the most popular programming languages. In this year, 2020, R was on the 8th place in that index. And the best thing about R is that it is free! Now that you know a few facts about R, we can download R and RStudio on our machines. What's the difference between R and RStudio? Is that the same? Well, good question. R is the actual language, and if you Google R, it will probably take you to the CRAN, where the compiler is available for downloading. Now, RStudio is an IDE, which means it's a simple user interface for R that has user-intuitive functions, it has a help section, it's simply more user-friendly. And we'll install both.
What we need to install first in order for us to be able to start learning R is the R from the CRAN, the Comprehensive R Archive Network. And we'll do just that right now. So let's go and open up our browsers. In my case, it's Chrome. And I will go to the CRAN, cran-project.org, and I'll paste the link on this video at the bottom of this window. And I'll go to the CRAN. Once I'm in the CRAN, what I have noticed is 3 different options to download R: for Linux, for Mac operating system, for iOS, and for Windows. So depending on what operating system you are on, you should select that option. For me, it's the Mac, and I will select one of these, the most recent version that is available for your operating system. In my case, it's R 4.0.2. And it just started downloading. I gotta wait a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, got it. R from CRAN just finished downloading. What I can do is open up the downloaded package and install R. I'm gonna click continue. Of course, I read this. License, agree, install. And this window might be a little bit different for Windows users, but pretty much it's the same story. you have to install after downloading R from CRAN. Good. So this is done. I can move my installation package to the trash. And what I can do now is open that R from my applications to see if it works. I'm going to go to my Finder, look for the applications, and find R. Wow! What we see right here is a engine. It's the R engine that reads your code, compiles, calculates, and returns results. So what we will do is we will test if it actually works. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use double quotes. And as you noticed, when I pressed double quotes, it opened the quotes right here. And it also closed the quotes on the right-hand side. So pressed once, but got both of them. And inside these double quotes, I'm going to say, hello world, and click enter. When I click enter, I'll submit this to the R. Boom. So we said, hello world, enter, and R returned printed the same, saying hello world. What I want you to do now is say hello world printed just like I did on your computer, in your R. Good luck. Good. Now that you have verified that R console is working, the R that you downloaded from CRAN, and tested that the hello world works in your case, you are all set to download a second piece of software called the R Studio. And it's a IDE that is user-friendly and makes your work and coding in R much more efficient and easier. So we'll do that. We'll download R Studio from the R Studio website. And it's all free. That's the good news. So let's go to the R Studio website. I'm going to open up my browser once again. And I'm going to go to the rstudio.com website. And click on Products. And in the drop-down, I'll see hover over Products. And the drop-down, I'll see R Studio. If you want to learn a bit more about R Studio and why this IDE, this user-friendly interface is so exciting, please watch this video. Take a tour of R Studio's IDE. Now that you're very excited, what I want you to do is scroll even further down and you'll see these two options, Open Source Edition of R Studio and R Studio Desktop Pro. The first one is free, the second one is $1,000 per year. So I'm going to go with the first one, and so should you. Click on the Download R Studio Desktop button over here, the one that is free. And we'll have two options, the R Studio Desktop free version and the R Studio Server free. This one will not be needed for this class. But what will be needed, what I want you guys to download is R Studio Desktop, this one. So please click download right here. And now you can select, based on your operating system, which R Studio you want to download. I have a Mac, so I'm going to select this one. Okay. And now we got to wait a few seconds for it to download. Very good. And it's done. So I'm going to pop up this package. It's going to verify a few things. It's probably looking for my R from the CRAN. And all I have to do is move this icon to the Applications folder. And I already had one installed. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say replace. But most likely you won't have that pop up if you're doing it the first time. If you are on a Windows, this installation process might look a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure you can handle it. So now let's go to our applications. I'm going to go to Finder, and I'm going to open our applications. Go to Applications, and I'm going to find the R Studio. Let's pop it up. Okay. And this is our IDE. We have 4 different windows in this view. 1, 2, 3, and 4. However, if you are opening RStudio for the first time, you might see a slightly different view with only 3 windows, 1 on the left-hand side and 2 on the right-hand side. If that's the case, if you see only 1 window on the left-hand side, what I want you to do is click on the white arrow, white plus sign on the green circle with this white canvas. Click on this and open up a new R script. Now you should see 4 windows. 1 with the script, 1 that is the console, 1 that is the environment in the upper right-hand corner, and 1 that is a miscellaneous window in the lower right-hand corner. You can view files, you can see plots and graphs, you can check your packages and libraries, and you can get some help with functions or different packages. To verify if this works, we'll do the same Hello World test. What I want you to do is, in your console, which in my case is in the lower left-hand corner, please do the same. Open double quotes. I'll get both opening and closing double quotes. And in those double quotes, please type in hello space world. Okay? Now that I want to send this hello world to R and talk with R, I'm going to press enter. And R responded with hello world back to me right over here. Okay, success. It looks like I was able to successfully install R from the CRAN and RStudio, the free edition, to my computer. And I am all set for the next episodes and the next sessions. Thanks, guys. We had mentioned something called CRAN a few times. The Comprehensive R Archive Network is a network of servers located at different universities around the world, storing the most recent versions of R and all the packages libraries. It is important to select the proper CRAN mirror for downloading packages. The best CRAN mirror is the one closest to you, but if the CRAN is small, you might want to use another mirror that is bigger or more updated. We can install packages from the CRAN by using the install packages function. What happens then is you download the package from the CRAN to your local computer and can access it directly from the hard drive without having to connect to the CRAN in each session. Also, just like other CRAN users, you can create and submit your own library to the CRAN and make it available to other users. This is how R remains free of charge to all users. We need to do one more technical thing before we can fully use R and RStudio. Let's go to RStudio and change one option. If we go to Tools, Global Options, okay, what I want you to do is go to Packages. Go to Packages, all right? And in Packages, please change the global CRAN. The global CRAN. You might see something else in here, depending on which country your computer is from, where you bought your computer. Change this global RStudio CRAN to USA, Iowa State University. All right, so once again, you want to change your CRAN to the USA, Iowa State University. Click OK. All right, so now in your primary CRAN repository, you should see USA and Iowa State University. I'm going to click Apply. Sure, restart required. Click Yes. Okay, and now all of us are using the same CRAN and the same packages. Okay, let's go to RStudio and try to connect to the CRAN and download a library, aka a package. By the way, library and a package are the same thing in our world. So whenever I say library or package, I mean a bundle of files from CRAN related to a particular topic. I can download a full library package from the CRAN with files that have functions that do visualizations, or another package that gives us forecasting functions, ARMA, ARIMA, ARG, GARG, etc. Or a third package that allows us to massage data frames easily. So any given topic, there most likely is a library sitting on the CRAN waiting for you to download it. So let's do that. Let's go to our console in the lower left-hand corner, and let's use the install packages function to ask the CRAN for a given package and download the files to our local disk. I'm going to use the install.packages function, parentheses and double quotes inside, parentheses and double quotes. And I'm going to say I'm going to download the ggplot2 library. It's a big library, so it might take some time. But now when I press enter, this function, the install.packages function, will talk with the CRAN and ask for the ggplot2 library. So I'm going to click enter. It's submitting my request to the CRAN, and it's receiving some information. It just gave me some information regarding the URL of my CRAN mirror LAS iowastate.edu. So I'm using my Iowa State University CRAN, mirror CRAN, and getting the ggplot2 from it. How would I know if this was installed on my local drive successfully? By the way, you might get many more of these links if you install this the first time, because it has to go through all the dependencies, and it might take a few minutes. In my case, it was fast. I got really good Wi-Fi, and I'm installing this the second time, today. So that's why it went so fast. But in your case, you might get more of these links, and it might take a few minutes to download. But at the end, you should get this message or something very similar. The downloaded library packages are in this folder on your local drive. If you got any errors, that means you have to change the CRAN that you are using. Good. Now, how do I verify if this was installed correctly? Because it seems like it was. I'm not getting any error messages here, but let's try to verify if this was installed correctly. How do I do it? I'm going to use the library statement, the library function, and put in ggplot2. The library function will call the package from my hard drive to my R session. Okay, I need to tell R which package to use. So now I'm going to be using the library ggplot2. And if I hit enter, now this sends a request to my hard drive, to my local drive, and pulls the package into my session here. Great. Now that you have loaded your library from your local hard drive to your R session, you can ask, what's inside that library? What functions can we use with ggplot? What does it do? To answer that question, all you have to do is go to the console and type ggplot2. All right, and hit enter. Sometimes twice to get out of that window. And in your fourth miscellaneous window in the help section, you're going to get the document regarding ggplot2. ggplot2, create elegant data visualizations using the grammar of graphics, description of the package, authors, and if you want to get inspired or get excited about visualizations in R, they are beautiful, believe me, best for data scientists and statisticians, please go to ggplot2.tidyverse.org and explore some examples. Let's try to install one more package, dplyr. I'm going to go back to my console and say install.packages, parentheses, double quotes, and dplyr. Enter. It might pop up a window asking if I want to reload R, and that's okay. I'm going to click yes. If you are installing it the first time, it probably won't even matter, so you might not get this window. But in my case, I'm installing it again today, and I will click yes. All right, so it's hitting my CRAN. It says installing dplyr. It's getting the link. It says the CRAN would say how much space it took, what the size of the package is, 1.2 megabytes. In your case, it could be bigger. If you are downloading it the first time, you might get more links and more data. But at the end, I'm seeing this beautiful message saying downloaded binary packages are in this folder. So now I downloaded the package from the CRAN to my hard drive, and now I will use the library function, library dplyr, to load this library from my local drive to my R session and hit enter. Beautiful. So now I can use my dplyr in my R session. And again, I can do $dplyr, clicking enter, and I'm going to get help. I'm going to get a document in the fourth miscellaneous window saying dplyr, a grammar of data manipulation. So could this replace SQL? Could this be the future of fast data massaging? Probably yes. Troubleshooting. What if you are getting errors or warning messages when trying to install something from the CRAN? Let's run one example. I'm going to install .packages and use a name of a package that doesn't exist on the CRAN, like Thomas Kernicki. You guys can imagine it doesn't exist, right? I'm going to press enter. Now it's going to talk with the CRAN, and the CRAN gives back a warning. In install packages, package Thomas Kernicki is not available. What that means is that I have either misspelled my package or simply the package name doesn't exist. So either double check the spelling of your package library or change the CRAN to something bigger, something more updated if the package is new.
This is great. You are ready for our first live session. You have R and RStudio installed and have all the tools that you need for our first meeting. However, I will ask you to take a quick quiz after this video. Thanks, guys. See you soon.